Good morning. We've got ourselves a little project. This Mchulloch 250C XL X series strimmer needs a bit of looking at. I thought it was just the fuel pipe, but it turns out that it wasn't. It was a bit, I think we got a bit of a block in the carburetor. We've got a bit of a block jet in that carburetor, I reckon. So this is my father's, and he said, look, my strimmer don't start, can you start it? I said okay. I went there, and literally both fuel pipes, the return and the feed, was rotted away, and they was going into the tank, but there was nothing in the tank because it had rotted away, and some of it had dissolved, and there's little bits inside the tank. It's just what happens. It's fairly normal. So I put some new line on there, and it still won't start. It'll start on a bit of spray. There's spark. It starts on spray, but it won't keep running. So the carburetor's definitely blocked up. So that's the project for today. Well, I say the project. There's many projects. I've got this on the go at the moment. Bit of I've just creosoted this piece of decking because this is going to go in the front garden, and make like a little bit of a wall so the slate doesn't slide over into next door's garden. That's one project. While that's drying, I'm going to do this strimmer. I've also made a huge mess on the floor and all over the bench as usual. And I've got far many more other things I really should be doing, but this strimmer is priority because it's for somebody else, and that always takes priority in my books. So I'm going to make a bit of I'm not going to make a bit of a tidy up. What the bloody hell? I can't speak anymore. I'm going to tidy up. I'm going to tidy up on the floor, and then we'll get the strimmer probably on the bench or something, and we'll have a look at that, see if we can get that to run. Because who doesn't like a good old strimmer, eh? Everybody does. Right, I've smallly tidied up a little bit, so now that's, I think the first port of call we need to do is get this carb off. That's the air filter. We need to get this carb off. It's all wet in there because we've been flooding it. We've been spraying easy start in there, trying to get it to start. I was hoping, because sometimes what you can do is you've got a bit of a blocked carb. If it's only blocked a little bit, if you can get it to run, it can be enough. You might have to keep it revved up. You might have to put your thumb over the intake a little bit while it's revved up to try and get it to suck in a bit more. And it can, and does, and fairly successfully sometimes, suck the piece of dirt through the jet, burn it off, get rid of it, and then it'll start to run fine after that. But if it's properly blocked, it won't be able to suck it through. But there's always the chance. I'll always do anything I can when I'm out in the field, so to speak. As I was trying to repair this, I was out in the field, more or less. Limited tools. So I thought, well, let's try and do that. But it didn't work. So it's obviously more blocked. And I thought, that's why I bring it here. Because I've got air, I've got carb cleaner, or brake cleaner, but it's just as good. And all the other stuff. So let's get the carb off and have a look at it, shall we? Yep, let's do it. Okay, let's try and do everything with the mini socket set. This socket set's great. Well, it was until it broke. I lent the ratchet out to someone and they put too much pressure on it, and now the little ball bearings don't always grip. So you quite often do your knuckles like I did there. But we'll be fine. So what do we need? Let's see if we can do all of this with the mini socket set. If we can, that'll be happy as dappy. Means I haven't got to go and get the bigger socket set out. Right, bit of a screw here and a bit of a screw there. It's a lovely day today. It's been really muggy and hot for the last week or so, and this morning it rained. I think it rained in the night, and then this morning it rained, so we're all happy as dappy now. A lot of the mugginess has gone. Right, that's the air filter assembly. I'll give that a bit of a clean later on. Probably never. Now, I haven't got any gaskets for this, but I've got gasket paper, so I could always make one if the gasket does rip. Great! Well, that's just perfect. Look at that. A bit of cheese and no jam, though. Which is a shame, because I did fancy a jam sandwich. Oh well, can't have everything. So this one is the feed, that one is the return. I thought that the pepper was going to come out, but it's not, so I'll just poke that in there anyway. Right, let me go and pump up the air. I was worried. Oh, it has, look. I was worried about that. That might have been partly why it wasn't really working. The primer bulb is gone as brittle as the fuel pipe was, and it's now got a hole in it. So, gonna have to go and rummage around in the drawer of bits and bobs, see if we've got any spare bulbs. Hopefully I have. I can put a new bulb on it, and that's block solid. Right, let's go. Alright, just pumped up the compressor, so we'll have a look at that in a minute. Bloody drawer. There's so much stuff in it. Hang on. There we go. Oh, more stuff. That's it. Right. So, let's have a look, see what we've got. It's not going to be in there. What's in there? Motorbike bits. What is this? Grommets, something or another. That's a Land Rover gasket, and that's a chainsaw something. Ah, that's a primer bulb, but it's the wrong type of primer bulb. I don't need that type. I need the type that goes on the carburetor. What's in here? Oh, there's a whole carb in there. Might be using that if I have to. No, that's completely wrong anyway, so we won't be using the other one though, Johnny boy. What's in this one here? Okay, another carb, filter, gaskets, loads of gaskets, carb parts. I must have taken this one apart at some point and nicked some bits off of it because it's missing, and some of it's in there. And that's a screwed up gasket. That's perfect. That's definitely going to work every time. Loads more gaskets. Alright, let me have a rummage around in this by myself so that you're not here talking to me all the time. Let me have a rummage around, see what I can find, because I've got bits everywhere, look, and I'll tell you what I find. I've literally ripped that toolbox apart, ripped all that apart, ripped all the drawers and everything apart, trying to find these bloody bulbs. And the last place I looked was up there. I got some tins where I keep some diff parts, little screws and stuff. And in this tin, of course, the very last place I looked was primer bulbs. Did I ever tell you that my goal is to reach 100,000 subscribers, full stop? Once I get there, I'll be happy. Then I should be able to afford a house with enough land and hopefully enough space in a shed so that I can actually keep stuff organised and not lose stuff like that. So if you can help me do that, I'd appreciate that. Let's go and hopefully find one of these bulbs, because there's different sizes here that fits on there, and while we're there we'll have the rest of the carb apart, blow it out and be happy. Eh? What do you mean? No, it's the same carb. What do you mean? It's not, it's the same carb. It's just cleaner. Yeah, I cleaned it. How did I get it so clean? Well, I just used compressed air, psst, brake cleaner, psst, and a toothbrush. I know, mad really. But yeah, that's all I've done. That's definitely the same carb. I'm not playing tricks on you. It's the same carburetor. I did try to blow some air into the inlet and the outlet to see if I could get it to flow. Didn't really have much luck with that, to be honest. So I'll tell you, I've got a theory what happened. And because the pipe, what happened is, on the inside, the pipe on the outside was just coming in, going in there, right? But on the inside, just after it goes in, it gone off. Now, the filter was inside there with a little bit of pipe still on it. So what I reckon happened was the filter had rotted off and it sucked up a little bit of the pipe that had gone brittle, and it sucked it up and it's stuck in here. That's what I reckon has happened. I'm hoping the diaphragm's not rock solid, because I don't know if I've... Well, we just had a look actually, and I might well have a diaphragm that suits this. But that... I will have to see if I've got one that's the same. There's a little bit of debris in there. You can try and... There you go. The debris is gone. That's clear now. So that's good. Loads of little holes and jets and orifices in a carburetor. So have we got a primer bulb that would match? It looks like we might have. There we go. Brand new priming bulb. Right. Now, are we going to need a new... Maybe. Then we're going to have another look in the bloody drawer of doom. Right, we're limited for bloody space here because the bench is a bit small and I've got so much stuff on it. But, let's see. I've got... That's nothing like it. I don't know what that is. That's nothing like it either there, John. Who the hell is John? I don't know. But, we'll call him anyway. So we've got needles and seats. Don't need them for this type of carbureting unit. What the hell is that? Not for this. Okay then. We've got loads of different ones. No. 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 More needles and seats. No, 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 no. These are all gaskets. None of these are diaphragms. Gaskets, gaskets, gaskets. Alright. I haven't got any diaphragms. I think that's probably why the other carburetor was taken apart, because I think I think what's happened was I've run out of diaphragms, because I normally keep a stock of diaphragms and gaskets and all the little bits that you just need on a daily basis with these little carburetors, because you get these strimmers and chainsaws and whatnot else, you know, non-running off of the Ethos cobweb. 9 times out of 10, the reason they're non-running is because the diaphragms have gone hard. They don't suck any petrol anymore, so they just don't run, and the people get the ump and they say, oh, it won't run anymore, and blah blah blah. They don't realise it's literally a 5-minute job to replace a diaphragm, and it costs a few pounds. But anyway, I haven't got any, so we'll put this back together. If it doesn't run, that now is 100% clear, but let's spray a bit of, spray a little bit of cauliflower cheese. Yeah, that's as clean as a whistle in there. Could take the little jets out and give them a blow, but I reckon we're fine. I'm going to take a risk, and I'm going to put this back together, and yeah, that's that. That is that. There is no more. I know you want more. You want a story, don't you? That's what you want. You want a story. But there is no story, okay? Well, that's not very clear though, is it? That should be clear. Ah! That one's blocked. Right, let's put a little bit of air on it. Well, in fact, we'll spray a bit of jam in there first. No. Might need to get the little pin out, because this primer bulb goes on there, squirts it out of there. I'm going to go put a bit of air on it, back in a minute. Alright, that seems to be fairly free now. Let's do these up. Always important to remember to do these up in the opposite fashion. Never do them up one side tight and then tighten the other one. Do them up, nip them up, because don't forget, these 2 screws, they clamp down on this whole sandwich here. So that clamps that gasket, and this seal here. So if you bring just one side down, it'll be uneven and you'll have a gap on the other side, and you might think, oh, that's tight. Yeah, but just because it's tight, the other opposite screw will be tight, because the other screw has lifted the other side up. So you want to do them up a little bit each side, nice and tight, not too tight, depends how strong you are. Some of you are probably strong enough to completely rip the whole lot apart, so you got to be a little bit careful there, Johnny boy. There's another diaphragm on the bottom here. Again, I've had a little look, I haven't gotten any of those, so let's just make sure these screws are nice and tight. So we've got a nice good seal. Now, primer bulb. Seems to be doing its job. So, oh dear, what's all that in there? Look? Alright, let's get rid of a little bit of that. Let's put that there. Put the lid on that. This is going to make a bit of a mess, but that's what we do. Let's close that. I can hear you. I can hear you. Orinoco. What about if you get a bit of dirt in there? I don't care. I don't care. Alright? Alright there? I don't care. So don't try that with me. How do we put that on? Oh, I can't remember. I can't remember there, Johnny boy. I can't remember. I think it goes that way around. That goes on there like that. Alright. I want you to put in the comments now, right? Are you confident? No cheating. Don't look ahead and go, oh, yeah, I know the answer. Because you don't know the answer, do you? No, you don't. And I've got to clean this now. Look at this. Comment right now. Do you think this is going to work? Am I going to have to replace the diaphragm or not? Once you've written your comment, let me know that you've written a comment with another comment. Tell me that you've written a comment and you've told me what you think. Thank you. Look at that. Haha! The cleanest thing in the world now. I don't think... I know as a fact, actually. I know as a fact. This has never been so clean. When this was new, it came out the factory dirtier than it is now. And that is a fact. 100%. There is no ums, ahs, ifs, buts about it. That one. Okay now. We've got to put the air filter thing. Well, I could screw. I don't know if the screws would be too long actually, but I could have screwed the carburetor on without the air filter housing. Yes, I know you're screaming at the screen, going, "Why are you bothering putting the air filter housing on? Because you don't even know yet if it's going to run, if it's going to work." Listen, it ain't the end of the world, is it, eh? Is this the end of the world? No, because if it doesn't work, I'll just simply take the screws out again, and off with that will come the air filter housing. I mean, it's exactly the same. The only difference is, if it does work, I haven't then got to take it apart again, take the screws out, to put the air filter housing on, have I? No, I haven't. So, let's just work around that and ignore it. That one goes on there. I might have to change the diameter of this one. This might be a bit big, this. Yeah. Yeah. I've got another bit here, look. Another bit. Right, let's quickly change this pipe. I should have done it before I put the carb back on, really, but it's a pain in the ass there, Johnny boy. But that's what we do. Okay. Right, try and fish that out of there. See, what I've done is I've made a pickle for myself by putting a piece of fuel pipe which is a bit too fat on it. But we'll pull this bit through like that, make a massive mess, get petrol absolutely everywhere, and then we'll put this slightly thinner piece in that hole like that. I once saw someone trying to thread this pipe through the hole from the inside. Now that's never going to work. That's never going to work. How is anybody going to manage to do that? That's impossible. Impossible, my friends. Trying to get that to go in from the inside. How on earth are you going to do that? Oh, I just don't know. The things that you see in your lifetime are mind-boggling. This is supposed to have a little nipple on it, but the little nipple come off. So I'm just not bothering with it. Don't need it. It's perfectly good enough seal. Now that is the thin one that I put in there. That's the return. Aha! Oh no! Come back here. That's the one I need. Now once you grab the inside of it, you can pull on that and then feed it like that until you've got the right length, and then all you got to do is give it a bit of a snipperoo and you're done. So you want it to be long enough so that it reaches right in the bottom of the tank when it's got its little filter on it. Here's a little filter like that, little filter. I've already blown the filter out. I know the filter's free and clear. It's the one that it come with, but it's free and clear and it flows okay, so I'm not going to bother putting a new one on. That little bit goes in there. That goes in there like that. Now we want to cut this. You don't want, depends how you are. I mean, I like a great big floppy line like that, but it depends who you are, you see. So I'm going to cut this there and leave this stupid little amount left, which is no good to anybody, and then put that on there. There we go. Right, let's put the lid on. Don't need to put the lid on to test the primer bulb, but I'm putting the lid on anyway. And let's see, are we going to fill up with petrol? It's coming up the pipe. There it is. Ha ha ha. It's in the top of the bulb. It's going down the return. There it goes. Right. It's not filling up right to the top though, is it? But I think that's fine. Let's go and put this on a more suitable place to try and give it a fire. Here we go. Here we go, Johnny boy. Start on... Oh, I'll put the choke down the choke. Right, here we go. Not very happy, is it? Let's put the foam in. Sometimes these little engines are a little bit finicky if they haven't got the air filter foam in them, because it does create a little bit more resistance and it can make them run a bit lean without it. So let's see. Let's put the end on. Let's put the end on so there's a little bit of resistance, and then we might have to do a little bit of adjustment on the carb there. I think I've got the right things. don't want to run off the choke, which means we might still have a block somewhere. That sound, when you rev it, it goes bop, 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 and doesn't rev. That means it hasn't got enough petrol. So before I go taking this apart or doing anything with the adjustments or anything like that, let's just try a different filter on it, because that filter might be blocked after all, even though it blew out okay. Let's put a new filter on it and see if that makes a difference. Alright. Let's just turn that compressor off, otherwise that's going to go in a minute. Right, there's a bit of an air leak on it. It's also got a bit of an oil leak as well. Bloody oil. It's leaking out everywhere. Surprised it's still running, to be fair. Right. There's a pipe. That's the old filter that I did blow out and it seemed to be okay, but it's always best to go with these sorts of things first. Go with the filters and that first. This is a brand new, different style, but bloody hell. Brand new filter. Yeah, if you could be playing around with carburetors and settings and adjustments, and then you don't get nowhere, and then you find out that the filter's blocked. This is typically fatter than the one I've just taken off, so it's not going to fit perfectly inside this piece of pipe. So bear with me a minute. Oh, just found this little bag here, and it's got some needles and seats and stuff in it, but it's got a little tiny filter, look, smaller than the one I just had. Let's see if that fits on this piece of pipe. No, it's got a fat barb on it as well. Everybody knows a fat barb. Well, there's a fat barb here. Where's my pliers? Right, that's on there good enough now. I could have tried it without the filter, I know I could have done, but I didn't. Alright, so stop picking holes in everything that I do, and here we go. Let's put that in there. Interesting. Doesn't seem to be sucking fuel as well as it did before. I think it's that diaphragm. I haven't got any diaphragms, so let's have a little play. Alright, so we've got that. We've got no tick over though. So I don't know why we've got no tick over. Let's have a little play around with it. I'll put some more petrol in it, a little bit better petrol. I haven't got the I can't find, these are special little bolts in it. I don't know what they're called, but they're blooming, they're like little spline bolts. and I haven't. Well, I've got a socket. I've got a set of them, but where they are is, well, that's another quest in itself. They could be absolutely anywhere. Sometimes you can get a little pair of long-nosed pliers in there. Right, little pair of long-nosed pliers. I've turned the low end and the high end out a bit. They should have a little bit more petrol now. See what happens. Worse. Got a tick over now though. Kind of. Running a bit better. That's better. Go full throttle now and it won't stop. Well, that's a lot better than it was. I'm just going to go a little bit more on the low end. Give it a little bit more petrol on the low end. Ooh. I might just put a little touch on that high. Now, without a doubt, the problem is probably that hardened diaphragm in there. But I want to get this going now. I can always come back later on, because it's my father's one anyway, so I can always come back later on and put a new diaphragm in and then readjust them jets. But if I can get it working for now, we can go and do what he needs to do with it, because I think the weeds are getting a bit big over where he does his strimming, so I think he needs it running. So this is like a bit of a bodge up in a way, and I know some of you are going to moan about them getting caught on stuff. I might cut that one down a little bit. I'm going to call that a win. Ticks over nicely. Turn it off. Back on again. Will it start on tick over? Yep. Nice. I think we'll call that a win. So there we go. One used to be slightly unhappy Mchulloch Strimmer now runs perfectly fine for what it needs to be. The correct thing to do while we had that carburetor apart would have been to change the diaphragm, both the one at the bottom and the one at the top. I dare say they've got specific names. I just call them diaphragms. You lot can correct me because that's fun for you. Anyway, that would have been the correct thing to do while we had that carburetor apart. I didn't have them. Didn't even change any gaskets because, well, I probably did have the gaskets actually, but I didn't change them. Anyway, the fact of the matter is, it now runs quite well, and it's sat there now. It's cooled down a bit, so let's see. I'm going to try and start it with no choke and my left hand. No choke. It's probably cooled down for about 5-10 minutes. No choke. Let's see if it'll start and tick over. Yeah. I'll call that good. I'll call that good from nearly cold start. I know it was only 5-10 minutes, but I'll call that good. Some of you probably would have the tick over a bit higher. I like them like that. If it does keep stopping for my dad, I'll just come and turn that screw in a little bit and turn the tick over up a little bit. But there we go. If you like that sort of thing, think about sticking around. There's a button for that. Just press it and you'll see every single video. I think it says subscribe. Can't remember. Can't say it. But it begins with an S and it says it's at the bottom of this video screen. Also, if you like RC stuff or little cars with real engines on, I probably will definitely forget to put the link to my other channel where I do repairs on all these nitro cars, as they're called, and also petrol powered RC cars. I normally get the old ones that nobody else wants because they can't get them running. Get them running, repair them, test drive them, all that kind of stuff. If you like that, I will forget to put the link in the description to this video. Thanks for watching, take care, all the best.